at a moment. I'm not a medical professional. I don't give any kind of medical advice. Any major changes you make to your diet or any other major lifestyle changes should be something that you consult with your doctor with before implementing into your own personal strategy for life. I'm also not a financial advisor. Don't give financial advice. Nothing I say is intended to be a recommendation for an investment. Everything that I say is simply opinion and not in any way meant to be recreated or tried at home. That being said, looks like we have some people here. I'm on the iPad today, you guys, so I hope the image quality's not too bad. It's an old iPad. Having some breakfast. So we got 6 people on our first chatter. What's up, Antonio? I'm doing good. How are you doing? What's up, Joe? Thank you. How's the connection? Looks like I got breakfast showing up. Oh my god, I did that. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. It's literally just to see. As long as I don't think it got in your face or anything. There you are.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So usually this has it's sauteed pepper and onion on top, but
Okay.
I just stole some of the potatoes so you can try them.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Thank you so much.
Alright, do you need anything else or you all good over here?
I'm looking good.
Alright, I'll get you new water. Be right back.
Thank you. No rush. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I did get quite the tan.
I got these
quite
ones.
the tan going on. It's an Arizona tan. I feel like it's a
Gentle.
Oh my goodness.
it's got its
Let me
own
give
like
Daddy a hug.
personal shade going on. Yeah, she's good. I totally just dumped a whole cup of water when I moved my iPad. And
Make it special. Do you have tenants today?
yeah,
Okay, can we just
she took it in stride, no problem. Anyways, I've been eating a vegetarian diet for the last month or so now.
Any mayo, mustard, lettuce, tomato, nothing.
Approximately. But today I'm having an almost all animal-based diet. I just feel like I need the protein.
Good to see you guys. Take my little
Anyway, so let's see how many people. We got 5 people. I'm gonna let some more people get in here. There's some stuff I want to talk about. I have some cool experiences recently,
Can you see? Let me see if I find the other ones.
but like a slightly bigger audience.
See Nova?
Oh, how cute.
If we end up not really getting an audience today, I'll just talk about whatever I was gonna talk about for a YouTube video, and I'll post that. It does seem like the videos get a little more run time. I don't know what that's all about, but it does. Welcome, Melanie. How are you doing? I'm just having breakfast. I'm gonna eat this meal. Let some people build up in here, and then we'll be talking about the stuff that I wanted to recap with of the experience that I had recently. Too shabby. Alright, so I'm gonna pour. Thank you. So what are you guys all up to today? You guys want, let's do this backwards actually. You guys want to do a little Q&A before I start ranting? I don't know about this meat. It doesn't taste like I wanted it to taste. We just started magic. We haven't talked about the the grounding yet. I was gonna let. It looks like we only got 4 people in here, so I was gonna hope and see if we can build it up to at least a double digit before I go into that. Otherwise, I probably I'll just do a video about it.
Yeah. Target them.
Is there a special reason I set the time trees to 9:11? Maybe some significance there. But on the logical side of things, sometimes, you know, obviously I usually am streaming in public on a public Wi-Fi, so some places open at 9, and that way I got a couple minutes to get inside, get my order, get set up, and then we're off. Okay, we're starting to get something going on now. We got 9 people. What's up, Zana? So basically what I'm going to end up talking about is probably something that is not going to be remotely surprising to a lot of people. People that are involved in yoga and stuff specifically will probably already have a pretty firm understanding of what I have recently confirmed through my own experience. Not that I can't be wrong, because I don't know anything about yoga, but I do have some theories now of how that developed and why it developed. And it looks like we tapped 11 for a second, but we lost a couple. Anyways, but if we go ahead and finish eating so I can talk straight before I get into that. But I was at the beach the other day. And well, basically what happened, it wasn't really that deep, I guess. I was meditating, and I started doing some just kind of like self-discovery, stretching, kind of finding the muscles or the fascia or whatever that was really, really, really out of just not pliable. You know what I mean? Where the real stiffness is, where the pain is. You know, when you're stretching, where you're feeling the strong sensations, right?
Yeah, just because like other jobs, even if you go to cheaper places, the salaries are so the offers that,
So keep in mind, I wasn't doing any kind of known flow. I was just like making my own thing up, right? Feeling it out. And twisting myself into some different positions. And I started, at some point, I was basically doing, I would get into these stretch positions where I'm working on a muscle that's really, really tight. Experience a lot of pain. So I just laid there. I was at the beach the entire day, from morning to night. And so I just get into these positions and I'm laying there. I probably spent half an hour at least in each one, right? And it takes a while, and I'm sure somebody knows what I'm talking about, but it's like you can work on it and you get nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like the fascia or something releases, and then it just starts coming down. And you're just getting this like sensation, right? There's something about that sensation, it triggers you spiritually also, which is why I believe currently or is why I now believe that that's how yoga was invented, and why, you know, these physical sauna and whatever that people are doing is related, is because when you stretch those muscles and you start stretching those nerve fibers, those nerves, that, you know, it activates the rest of your nervous system as well, right? So doing that, I was doing that for most of the day, and at some point, you know, it started having that effect. So I started meditating, right?
How's everything taste?
Very good.
Want
Thank
that
you
over
so
here?
much. Yeah,
Awesome. Oh, I forgot about your water.
Oh, no rush. And so I start meditating, and after stretching for a long, long time, I was able to way more rapidly than usual to get into a state, right? And this state was a new one. I believe that it was some kind of root chakra activation, because my agility level just took off all of a sudden. I was doing flips on the beach, handsprings, one-handed cartwheels. Like I was doing doing all kinds of acrobatic stuff that I normally don't think I could have done. I don't know. Maybe I normally wouldn't try to do them, but at that moment I felt I had amazing balance. Just such amazing balance. Doing flips and all kinds of stuff. Good amount of energy too. I was climbing rocks, barehanded, barefoot, like stuck on there. Like everything was just dialed in physically, my physical body, in a way that's not normal. And but it gets better. So that was the interesting thing at the moment. I actually have some videos and stuff of me doing things that normally I wouldn't be able to do, right? Sam enjoyed it quite a lot. He was like, whoa, dude. The weird thing was, and maybe this is just from the stretching, it could have something to do with the other thing, but there's two things. The other thing too is, okay, so the following day, my first thing that I noticed, well, that day actually, I noticed I started getting suddenly a lot more movement from my sacroiliac, right? So I had discovered that joint, I didn't even know about it until a few years ago, right? And during that time, I for the first time popped it. I was like, whoa, that is just like the best feeling ever, right? And you pop that joint. And so since then, I do it fairly regularly, right? It feels good. But I feel like mine is still kind of stuck. Like it doesn't, until recently, you know, I kind of thought that it was like a joint that it moves, you know what I'm saying? But it adjusts and kind of like stays wherever you put it, kind of a thing. I never thought of it as a joint like a finger or an elbow that just was supposed to freely move. But after that day on the beach, doing those long holding poses for 30 minutes, maybe longer, and then activating what I assume to be root chakra. The first thing that I noticed the next day, sacroiliac completely freed up. Now it got stiff as of yesterday, and even today it feels a little stiff again. But the day after that day, it completely went free. And I felt like I was walking completely different. Like just everything in my body mechanics felt so much better that I just can't even explain. But it's just like having that joint, I don't know how it is for other people, but for me it never just moved like a regular joint. It was always really, really stiff, and maybe even at some points like, locked. But the day after that, I was walking around and I could just feel it. It's like, it's a sway bar, like completely changed the way that my hips and my entire pelvic area is functioning. I can feel the bones. It's just everything works better with that joint. That joint is so important. And I don't know if it's common, if a lot of people have frozen that got that joint frozen up, but you gotta get it free. You gotta get it free. And the other thing that I noticed, okay, so after that, once I got that joint free, what I really noticed was that it's really easy to it also helps you get to a state, right? Because if you kind of like are like moving that joint around, I feel something, and what I think that I feel is like nerve flossing, where the nerves are flossing through the back of that, because that bone has 8 holes in it, right? That bottom like sacral bone in the bottom of your spine, 8 holes where the nerves come out from the bottom of your spinal cord, go down into your legs and all that, right? These are like your biggest nerves, like aside from your spinal cord, right? And when you free that up and you move it around, like those nerves sliding in and out of those holes or whatever, it really excites your nervous system. It feels really good, right? And it gets better. So exactly, Kundalini starts off down there, and you can really think of that. Most people don't even know about it, but if you think about it, it's like a mini brain. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bone with a ton, like a huge nerves coming out of it, right? It's encased, and there's a ganglion or cortex or whatever inside of there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little mini brain. It's on the other end of your spinal cord. So it's super important. But what I thought was interesting was that since then also, like I feel like I haven't been working out or anything, like I've just been stretching. It's not even like real yoga, I've just literally been stretching and laying in the position for long terms, right? But like I feel like I gained like a significant amount of muscle from that. You know what I'm saying? Look, like my whole everything, like it's not a lot, but definitely more than I've ever gained from like a single workout lifting weights or something. I've never really had one workout make that big of a difference, and that wasn't even a workout. It's really weird. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just in my head. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining it, but like I feel completely stronger. I feel like it's not a lot, but it's like everything is fuller, everything's harder. I have no clue. But I do know that it's real, and now we know that this is within the realm of possibilities. So it's like, what can we do? Can we change our whole appearance just like mentally? Do we have to do anything? Or can we just literally meditate our way to what? How good can this get? I don't know. It's awesome. Oh, you know what? You're right, though, Zana. I did look that up yesterday after I realized what was happening. I did look it up, and that stretching can cause muscle growth. So it could just be that. I could be overanalyzing. But nonetheless, it's a great discovery because you go to the gym, you lift weights, you end up sore, you really get more stiff at the end of the day. You might get stronger, you might gain a little weight, a little muscle, whatever, but you get more stiff. You can gain muscle and strength and all that while stretching. Like, it's got to be a healthier way to work out. Just a thought. I don't know. I gotta eat my breakfast, it's starting to get full. This animal protein thing is like not agreeing with me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna force it down anyway. I gotta honor these chickens. So that was pretty much the whole thing, you guys. I know that I amped that up. I boosted that up like I was gonna, talk about levitating or something, but we haven't gotten there yet. But I thought it was cool. Am I eating it because of the protein? Yeah, I can't. I honestly, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like something was missing, but I think that the thing that's missing is like everything else that I've cut out of my life. I was like, I don't think this was what I thought this was what was missing, but it's not. It's not what was missing. My body's like, nah, it's not that, but. Yeah.
Partial. Your time.
Yeah, you know, that's what I thought. I thought that the body knew what it needed. I think really it just wants to smoke some weed is what it wants. But we are being stronger now. We're being strong. Anyhow, so what are you guys up to? You guys got any questions or whatever? Let's see how my battery goes. This is kind of, we didn't really get many people here for me advertising this ahead of time. Oh, you know what? It's Saturday, huh? People don't like Saturday mornings. I don't know what it is. We're getting close though. We need 700 more hours, guys. And we're good. We're there.
Okay, I put the bacon on the same plate.
That's good. Thank you.
Abajo. I don't have two to be. I think we're not.
Yeah, it's cool. You can't win them all.
Okay, sit. Sit. Harry, sit.
Do I meditate daily?
I won't give it to you for you sit. Sit. Stay.
I want to. I mean, I wish I am
Stay.
trying to
Stay.
develop the habit of doing it daily, but
Enjoy, Papa. Anything else
truth
you
be
need?
told, I skip a lot of days.
Sit warm enough.
I
Some of
shouldn't.
those things are not done. They don't heat well enough.
But what I've noticed is like it's like for a long time, like my meditation
Okay, that's enough.
have always been like I waited. I used to always wait for like till I felt something like naturally inside, like when I felt energetically charged. I would meditate when I felt it, and I had a lot of profound success like that. And then when I would like force myself just to meditate when I'm just having a whatever normal day, it's sometimes lackluster, you know. I don't always get as deep into it as I want to. And I know that that's not an excuse to not do it because it's called a practice, because that's what you have to do. You have to practice to get better at it. But yeah, that's the real truth. The real truth is that no, I don't do it every day. I think that I should do it every day, but most of my best successes, with a few exceptions, have been when I felt something naturally and then enhanced it by meditation, through meditation. Though I have, and one other note is, though I have had some really awesome experiences with meditation when I wasn't feeling much, but in those cases, it took a long time. Just a note, in case anyone else is going through the same process of learning and stuff, is like when I was at the beach the other day, like I was probably there for 6 or 7 hours, and it was hours into my stretching and stuff is when I started getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I had another day when like my car was getting worked on in Vegas, and so I just walked out into the desert and I was like meditating for like 6 hours in the desert. It was just a normal day, but I ended up like on an amazing level, and I was unlocking some kind of power of sight and stuff, and that was like a day when it was just like a normal day. So I know that you can just, or that I can just wake up, have a normal day, be like, hey, I'm feeling very human today, or earthly today, or whatever. And if I spend enough time, I can take myself there. But I can't do it, you know, in 30 minutes or an hour like I can if I'm already having some kind of effect naturally. and I don't know how everyone else's life is. Like, I'm trying to work myself towards a life where, yeah, okay, maybe I can spend 5-6 hours a day meditating, but you know, I think most people would agree that unless you've gone through substantial steps to declutter your life and simplify your life, that it's pretty difficult to find that kind of time for something every day. I don't know. That's my honest answer to the question. How comes I did a scene recently? Well, truth be told, you guys, as much as I love my new life and my spiritual advancement, it's not a very profitable, so far it hasn't been a profitable endeavor. And, you know, I have a dog, I still have bills, I got, as much as I try to fast as often as possible, I still have to eat. So, and I'm not really a, you know, I'm not an hourly wages type person. Not to shame anyone that is, whatever works for other people, but I've gone too far in my life without having a, you know, that type of setup to go back now. So I'm just minimizing. You know, for me, it's like I don't really have like a huge moral dilemma with my work. I enjoy my work immensely. And I think, in fact, I know that 90+% of the time, maybe even in the much higher, in the upper 90s%, that my coworker is also going to enjoy themselves. Not only that, but I believe that in most cases, even the crew and the directors and stuff are going to enjoy themselves during my day. You know, I don't have any moral dilemma with that, but you know, as far as my spiritual growth goes, like I do think that the semen retention has like a huge effect.
Are you still doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just
Good. Perfect.
I do think that it has a major effect, and I don't want to have to come every day, or even often. But occasionally, you know, I don't think it's that bad. In fact, I've actually had high-level experiences on days when I did do that, and also there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, the Taoist perspective. You know, it disagrees with, for example, the Hindu perspective on it. And for example, someone, according to the Taoist, someone my age should release every 18 days or so. So, you know, there's that. Not saying that I'm picking and choosing, you know, based upon whatever suits me or is convenient for me, but I'm just saying is that there's multiple schools of thought, and that my motivation behind it is really about the retention, not about any kind of moral dilemma. And to answer someone else's question, that I broke myself, yes, I made it 98 days. 98 days, and that was my record since I started in the business. So, I kind of feel weird that I didn't last an extra 2 days, because it would have been nice to say 100, but it is what it is. What's up, Susan? What's up, Wiggs? I agree. Jack. What's up, guys? Well, it got going a little slow, but we're starting to get a little. But 98's close enough. 98's a pretty good amount, honestly. You know, 98 days. Like, you know, I used to catch more bodies a year. Anyway, any other questions you guys? My breakfast is starting to get cold now.
Sorry.
Then you can find a balance when you're working.
I already have no more.
That's true. I mean, I just think that honestly, eventually, like, I think that my work
You want my love? I see. So you only
and
want
my
my treats.
spirituality have to merge. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna
Where
make
is he
that happen
today?
yet.
You were off. Oh, he's in Ohio. This
In
is
Ohio?
from Mother's Day. So, last time we came,
I wasn't
we didn't
here.
see you. The same took place. Yeah,
That's a good question. Did it feel a lot more sensitive? Yes.
bye.
So,
Do you want to take the exit?
No, I don't.
back to the Taoist thing. I think I'm gonna quote. I don't know. I'm gonna inaccurately quote Chang Li or whatever. You know, it's. Actually, I'm gonna get this so wrong. I'm not even gonna try. So basically, I've talked about this before, but I've confirmed also too that it's if you become a master of something, right? That you want to improve, and you just can't. You're at a plateau. Truly, how do you improve? You just gotta forget it. You gotta completely forget it. You know? Just let it go. And that's the only way you can improve. So, I believe that now because the sensitivity is like, it's so much. Like, I enjoy it so much more now. I always enjoyed it, but it was always me enjoying, it was some kind of ego-based thing. You know what I'm saying? Before it was always about how many orgasms can I cause someone to have. I never really cared about mine, in fact. It was so secondary that it's almost like I didn't even enjoy it. But totally different now. Now it's just like it's something I can't talk about on YouTube. Much better. What's up, Jesse? Good to see you. I still work in the industry. I just answered that recently, but to elaborate, I'm still working a little I'm minimizing in the industry. Though I'm not banking on it, but I do hope that this whole YouTube thing eventually can.
You doing okay, Papa?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much. Can replace most, if not all, of my work. We'll see. I have one last course here. Oh wait, I got one piece of paper. Yeah. Oh. Oh no, my body wasn't ready for the animal protein. Any other questions, you guys? Let me ask you, does anyone else had a after Arizona? Well, I'm back in LA now. Arizona was cool. I went to a bunch of different places, but I'll tell you what, I could live in Sedona. It's a small town, but it's got everything you need, and it's pretty cool that, you know, not to say that, I'm not saying that like I went there and like, you know, felt the energy or whatever that they're like selling there, you know, as their thing. Not to say I didn't, like it was beautiful, it was such amazing, beautiful nature that it was easy to stay in that frame of mind for me. But the cool thing is that they have marketed the spiritual aspect of it, the energetic aspect of the land there, and the way that it looks, and the whole hiking and the nature, and like they have turned it into a major tourist destination. But the type of tourist that it attracts is the spiritual type of person. There's a lot, and so it's pretty cool because you can encounter that type of person on a regular basis there. It's a small town, mostly people of that like mind, and for that reason it actually, I don't know if it was always true, but they're making it true. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. And so yeah, I could definitely go there. Now I don't know what it's like in the winter, and I don't know what it's like in the summer. I suspect both of those seasons are a bit harsh there. But the spring was amazing. Why am I back in LA? Well, I have a bunch of storages here, and I really want to get rid of all my stuff. Like, I'm so tired of possessing things. So I've been trying to convince myself to like put all my stuff on eBay, you know, or garage sell it, donate it, get rid of everything. But there's some stuff that like I feel like I would be stupid to just get rid of, like my porn couch that's had, you know, hundreds of famous models on it and all this stuff. So like I feel like there's some guy in Dubai that wants to bid on that against another guy somewhere, you know. Somebody wants that couch, you know what I'm saying? So I haven't convinced myself just to trash everything. I want to try to put it all on eBay and stuff, but it's just like I was like moving at the last minute when I put all that stuff in storage, and then I ran out of space and I had to get a second storage to like put everything in, and so it's so messy and like cluttered and it's not organized at all that it's like I want to get rid of at least one storage, but like I'm almost like to the point where I have to get a third storage to be able to like shuffle stuff around so that I can like take the photos, organize the inventory, and list it on eBay or whatever. So it's like I came to do that, but I'm like been procrastinating on it, and then I did one scene. But it was with somebody who I had already shot with for the last project, and who I already knew that I had a good connection with, and it's for a production that is absolutely the most ethical production in the business. My favorite, the videographer is my same videographer that I normally use, and the director is his wife, who is one of the people that I adore more than anyone in the industry. So it's just like a really, and then the scenario for the scene is literally like it's supposed to be totally just like they do one where it's the last one that I did well, this last one was actually not for that production. That's the one I'm gonna do, but the actually the last one was not for that. I got off track. I was forecasting. The last one was for fighting climate change, which was interesting enough. There was some guy, shout out to Balls, who had this amazing idea he always wanted to make a porn. And so he hired literally all the best people in the business. Like, I mean, I'm not just talking about like actors and actresses and stuff. I'm talking about like the lighting guys. Like, it was all like I was there. It was another big name male star was the director. It was cool. He tipped everybody. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, this guy's shooting this big production, and all the proceeds are going to fight climate change. So, I thought that it was an interesting project, and so I participated in it. Yeah, I'm gonna work with that same girl again on my next. Which is why I got confused when I was telling the story. But besides that, yeah, I just really want to get rid of my storages. Also, honestly, California's growing on me. Like, the more I raise myself mentally, it has a direct relation to how much I distance myself from politics. Like, I feel like politics are probably like one of the, as much as like, spirituality should be involved in politics, it's not that much. Mainly like our politics have been like completely and totally monopolized by like sociopathic fuckheads. But excuse my language. I try to practice right speech, but I don't always succeed. That I don't even remember what I said, but there's no room for politics in my mind anymore, and I don't know. If I had an extra room you could use for anything, what would I use it for? I would use it for an office, to stream in and to edit. Basically just somewhere to hook up my computers and try to be a little bit more consistent with my fan page, since that's really the main thing keeping me afloat right now. Which, by the way, you guys, I think I'm done here. Video games? No, I don't play video games. I don't knock anything that anyone enjoys, but seems like a waste of time to me. Sorry, you guys, I wasn't reading the chat because on YouTube the chat disappears if you don't like swipe it over. So when I'm talking, I just can't even see the chat. But I wasn't trying to ignore your questions yet, Ron. I just didn't get that far down the chat yet. So partner does not need to take birth control with you since you can hold. Yeah, there's no real need for it. Yeah, because I can't hold, and that's kind of like where I'm at mentally now, is trying to do it without releasing, because I feel that makes the whole process of the retention and everything work faster. Because if you're not doing that, if you're
Thank you
not
so much.
raising, getting to that edge, it takes like 6 months or something to start having a real effect. Or not 6 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months, I don't know. Where did I watch the solar eclipse? I did not watch the solar eclipse, sadly. Once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make it to the solar eclipse, I went into like a micro depression, and yeah, I just didn't talk to anybody for a few days. How do you work with good people? Do I think life is about being here to better your character? Yes. But not really to better it is until it isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's here to better your character until your character gets, until you win eternal life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're always going to live forever, but you're either going to live here or somewhere else. So I think it's about improving your character. You got to stay here until you improve it. Once you get recognized, and you just get, brought into the whole. But I really honestly think that life is really about entertainment, but not our entertainment. You know what I'm saying? About God's entertainment. So it's like, you're here to provide an experience for God. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think we're here to provide the best experience possible for God. Because it's living through us all. You know what I mean? So I think we should all just be trying to be God's favorite. This is why I sent you the link, although Gerald's interview, he searched the place least toxic for his Telegram. Okay. I will definitely have to look into that. I've been also, so this is another part, and I guess we don't really have much of a group here, but another major revelation that I've had, especially after like looking and seeing, how other people operate. Like, I really think that there's a reason why, people who get really far down the road always end up trying to like organize, create some kind of an organization in person, because I guess online kind of works also, because like all that time that I was not streaming, I was meditating fairly often. I was putting myself in good frame of minds, and I did integrate a lot more in my download, but like I wasn't having any major meditative breakthroughs, and it was like a pretty long time. It was like a month and a half or something. And then after I streamed with you guys the other day, the very following day I was boosted. And I don't know if it was, I have two theories about it. Either, I'm helping other people's expansion, or people are vibrating with me or syncing up with me in some way, and that I'm getting some kind of an energetic excitement from that, regardless of the fact that I can't see you guys, don't really know what you guys look like for the most part, or anything like that, but yet you matching my vibration through hearing me talk somehow gives me a kickback. That's one theory. The other theory is that by doing these streams and talking, since I'm not really a super sociable person, I don't really make a practice of talking about myself or really interacting with people in general at all outside of this streaming thing. That this creates a situation where I have to to some level, use my throat chakra, and maybe that invigorates me as well. But I kind of more lean towards the first option rather than the throat chakra because I have actually activated my throat chakra like immediately before. And so I know exactly what it feels like, and it's a really pronounced feeling. And I've even activated it so strongly before that my neck like physically swelled up and like was raised up, like where there was like, you know, it was like swollen. You know what I mean? Like I did that when I was in Oregon. I activated this so strong that it was literally swollen to the touch in front of my throat and felt like I was like, felt so good, like a glowing, like orgasmic feeling in my throat. Right? And I was just singing. Couldn't stop fucking singing. Like freestyling lyrics all day. I got recordings of it. Like I'm not normally much of a singer. You know, so, and also I usually get some degree of this opening when I open the heart. So I know exactly what this feels like. Now, maybe there's low-level activations that happen when you're just talking or doing something that's like outside of your normal comfort zone, which is that's what this is.
Beautiful outside.
But I actually think that it's more likely that there are energetically charged people out there in the world that through hearing my voice, even if it's through the internet or whatever, and thinking about the things that I'm talking about, and possibly even thinking about the things that I'm thinking about after hearing me talking about them, that perhaps there is a frequency match, right? Because it's like that's how it works. You know, you take two. Have you ever seen the thing where you can like take two tuning forks that are tuned to the same frequency and you ding one and the other one starts ringing? If you take two different frequencies, you ding one, nothing happens to this one, but if they're the same, they'll both ring when you ding one. Has anyone seen that? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Because that's literally how I see it as working on way other levels. Because like, and as much as you might want to say, well, there's a big difference between a human and a tuning fork. Yeah, a human's a lot more complicated and has a lot more capabilities than a fucking piece of metal. Right? So if it works for this, like it almost definitely wouldn't work for us, right? Yes, exactly. Well, that's also what I mean. The love is a frequency, for sure. Love is a frequency. It's the strongest one. It's really super important. Yeah. Like when you're making growth, like that's like honestly.
Okay, can I grab you anything else, or you all good over here?
You know, like I don't know how about you guys, but like when I'm feeling like super powerful, I cry all the time. But they're not always like sad. They're not sad tears. It's usually tears of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Of love. I'll just see something that's like, oh my god, I love this world so much. And it's like that's how I know that I'm like that's one of the big signs that it's like today's gonna be a day. We're gonna cry. We're gonna do some stuff.
And it's like,
Just
quiet. It's nice and quiet.
You know. You know, like, and when I first, like early on in this whole transformation, I would like to get back to this point. Like, it was like I had such great control of my emotions at some point. Like, it's like I could cry tears of happiness, I could be sad, I could, you know, be excited. I could even, like, I could bring in that, like, you know, that, like, that laughing, like, I'm so excited about, like, that thing that only, like, you only see it in children. Like if you give a child a toy and they're just like, oh my god, that's the coolest thing they ever got, right? And it's like that grin that's just like too big. Like I could bring that on. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing that you just literally can't feel as much. You know what I mean? And that's really the emotions are how you access it. Like, it's really confusing, and especially if you're a logical person. I mean, if you're a really logical, deep thinking person, or maybe even an athlete or something that's really like used to controlling your body using mechanical seeming things, mathematics and movements and things like that, right? But all that doesn't have anything to do with the other side of your brain, the brain that accesses the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with it. So it's really confusing. It's extra confusing if you already have experience in those other areas, because the way that you access it is through your emotions, right? So especially if you're like a person that maybe has been like hardened emotionally, like for example me, like like when I was in prison, for example, what do you say? Leave your feelings at the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe some people have been in the military, or maybe they had strict parents. It's a lot of different scenarios, but like there's a lot of different reasons why people learn to oppress their emotions, right? And that oppression of the emotions strengthens the ego, because the ego is in one side of the brain, but the soul, or the the other side of the brain, whatever, I don't know what's in there, but it's connected to spiritual stuff, and you can't physically control it the same way that you can the other side of the brain. It just completely works differently. The only way to control it is to surrender to it. There's no controlling. There's no such thing as control. To say that you can control it by surrendering, it's like, okay, that's completely oxymoron, but I shouldn't say control it. The way that you access it and use it is to surrender to it, right? And that means surrendering to your emotions. It's your emotions. That's the part that you can feel. That's the part that you can have something to do with it. And that sounds really weird, like, control my emotions, like, that's not the easiest thing, is it? No, it's not. It's not an easy thing. But it's possible, and if you can do it, that's how you unlock superpower. Not that this is about superpower. This is about giving God an amazing experience. But superpowers help with that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I'm having breakfast right now. I'll be downstairs.
I'm gonna go back to the chat.
Okay.
I'm a lot of chat. Okay. Let's see. It was a pleasure to see you streaming when I'm randomly being on YouTube. Good to have you here, Ron. Magic says, also you're leaving the frequency of your experience as a recorded message. That's service. Oh, that's a good point. I never really thought about that. That is a point. That is a point. That is service. That's a good point. It's a good service. I like that. I've seen that too, and maybe it was also the love that our little trust. Oh yeah, all right. Sorry, that's where it was. You also experienced the phenomenon. People could see what you are thinking and just talk with you about what you are thinking in the moment. Really strange something. No, I haven't had that experience, honestly, but I have had an experience multiple times, way before any kind of spiritual stuff. But I used to, when I used to play poker a lot. It wouldn't always be like this, but sometimes I would be able to take a little tiny bit of mushroom And then I would go play poker, and it was like I could see what everybody was thinking. It would be like, but it wasn't like, it was like really dramatic. It was like if somebody was like happy, like they would look like a clown, they'd have like a big clown face, and if somebody was like bluffing, like it's like I would like see them like sweating, like they would be like crying, or like they had a weekend, or they were like worried, like they would be like, you know, shaking and like all scared. So it's this really dramatic like characters of like everyone at the table, like it's like their emotions were like, you know, whatever. I probably had that happen like 4 or 5 times. Love is profound and unexplainable emotion. I know love is it's the most misunderstood emotion because it's the emotion that most people think that they've experienced that they have not. You know what I'm saying? It's honestly like I wish that they would just come up with a different word. Like there needs to be multiple denominations of love. You know what I'm saying? How athletic am I? I don't know. I mean, compared to the most athletic I've ever been, the most athletic I've ever been being like a 10 and the least being like a 1, I would say I'm like currently like a 3 on my personal scale. A 3 for me might be better than some people's 10s, but like for me it's a 3. There's so much magic with this if we manage to get in touch with it. You know what? That's a good point, and it also reminds me of like this thing that I seen the other day that like perfectly said, and Melanie's seen it. Like what I was thinking about. So my battery's about to die, you guys. If my thing turns off, that's why. But you know, it was this thing that I posted about raising children. Like you raise your child, take him out into the forest, the jungle, whatever, and he sees this big, beautiful tree, right? And he's just in shock and awe. What is this magical creation jutting out of the ground, bursting with life? You know, what is it? It's a tree. It's just a tree, son. Oh, it's just a tree. Okay. The magic's gone. It's no longer a magical, unknown thing. It's just a tree. Right? And that's what they did to us with magic. It's just fake. It's just, we shouldn't even say magic. It's spirituality. It's just, whatever, you know. They give you Disney, you know, show you how it all works, but it's fiction. Right? So now you've been based. You don't believe it. Because you've seen it, or you've seen it as fiction. If you've never seen it before, it just happened for one day, it'd be amazing and real. You know what I'm saying? So, it's how, you know, and I have a feeling that this is all by design. You know? I have a feeling that our whole history is fake, and that if any of our history ever actually happened, it happened at way different times than when they're actually saying that it happened, and that they just keep looping us over and over and over and over again, taking out the parts they don't want us to know about. You know, filling our brains with fucking garbage, distracting us, teaching us all the wrong ways to operate our bodies. Stuff your face every day, eat 3 meals a day, never go a day without food, and like, you know, like, just everything is created to keep you but it's not working. And that's I think the beauty of the universe is that, and I don't think that part is necessarily undesigned either. I think that that's a big part of the game that we're playing. Is that they're supposed to try to stop us, and we're supposed to not be stopped. And that's how the game goes, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wake it up. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm totally subscribed to this multiple timelines thing, but I love the idea, and I really hope that it is like that. I just hope that I hope I get to go to the good timeline since I'm already not coming back again. I hope that I don't have to stay whatever, you don't have to do it again. We're gonna make this. You're gonna see the weird part. No. But yeah, I don't know. It's so weird too. My screen keeps looking like it's screen capping me. It keeps doing the screen cap thing, and I'm not touching it. I feel like something's happening here. Anyways, let's see. Back to the thing. Bruce Dispenza, Tantra. Honestly, I do like Joe Dispenza. I think that he's great. He's like a spiritualist for doctors and scientists. It's if you just can't get your brain away from all the fucking science and shit, I love that there's a guy for you still. There's still a guy for you. Let's see. Oh, that microdosing telepathic energy reading. No terror. Yeah, I know. It's so awesome. The microdose. Those things are so great. Why do I not consider to play poker again? I went recently and I did actually have I thought that it was a grand idea that I would go play, but yeah, I don't know. I played it. I bought in for one game and I lost and decided that was not the path.
Still doing okay?
I'm good. Just a check's good.
All right, I'll be right back.
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I prefer craps, to be honest. I mean, poker's interesting. I think it's mathematically a long-term better game, but I don't want to play long-term. I don't want to do anything long-term. I don't want to spend all my life and my time sitting at a poker table. It's whatever. I would rather go play craps and, do what I do best, which is manipulate time so that I could get the most return in the smallest amount of investment, because in the end you always lose because the edge is against you, but the end is calculated upon infinity, and I don't live infinitively, so I prefer craps because I feel like I can manipulate time well enough with craps that the expected downfall usually should occur sometime after my expiration.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you. So that's that. Emotions on the palm of your hand. Absolutely. Have you felt love? Have you felt love in my childhood? Yes. There's a lot of things I can complain about in my childhood that I would have liked to have been different or whatever. Or I can't say that in knowing what I know now that I would change anything, but previously there would have been. But love was never missing. You know what I mean? I would have liked maybe a little better guidance in certain areas, but the love was there. The love was there. 100% the difference. I know. It's just like the love thing is to realize that it's more than just a feeling. That it's the basis of all creation. Then you're getting somewhere. You know what I mean? It was interesting too because, you know, when I first seen the light, I understood a lot. I understood a lot more than I ever did. Which there's obviously so much. Once you realize how much more you can learn that fast, you realize that there's no way to ever even scratch the surface, right? But the weird thing was there was like literally a day, and I don't know, maybe you guys remember, I think I expressed something in the Telegram chat when I was like, I don't know, maybe I was just only, I got 5% battery, so this was up, but maybe I was just only DMing people, and I don't know, remember if I actually talked about it, but it was like, you know, sometime around the tunnels thing happened, and then like there was a lot of other stuff going on politically, and I was just like, I was just in tears. I was just wrecked. I thought that I lost my connection because I was so enraged at the things going on in the world and the people hurting babies and whatever stuff like that, right? And I felt so tremendously lost by that, because and somehow I knew, even like with the light, it came that I knew that I was supposed to somehow love my enemies, and that's what I was expressing to people. Maybe it was directly, or maybe it wasn't in the Telegram chat. I don't remember. Maybe I did say it in the public chat that I don't know how to love my enemies, but love, that's what it is. That's what it really, really, really is. It's so easy to love the people that love you, or the people that are good people, but the real love is the love that you have for your enemies, for the worst parts of this world, because it comes with like an understanding of what it is like to be God. You know, that to actually see everything simultaneously through everybody's eyes, feel everybody's emotions, to see the entire planet and everything that is unfolding simultaneously. And then you realize why you have to love your enemies, and that the realest love is the love that you hold for the evil in this world. Because the evil is what makes the good. Everything that you always thought that you loved, and everything that you feel that you currently love, it only exists because of everything that you think that you don't. Nothing that you love would matter or have any kind of meaning at all without all the terrible things. It wouldn't. Now my battery's about to die. I love you guys. I'm on 5% battery. I want to end on that note. Think about that. I know it's really hard. I know it's so hard. It's so fucking hard. Like, I mean, I cried about it. I cried about it. I cried about it. I cried about it. And then I understood it. Okay? I cried and then I understood it. And the day when you understand it, you'll understand it. That's all I can say. I can't explain it to you. I can't make you understand it. I think that as a good person, you're supposed to be appalled by what I just said. But there is an experience which you're working towards right now just by being here. If you've not had it, you will eventually have it. Stay on the path, and you will find out why universal love is a thing, and how it is the underlying emotion and the reason for this entire universe. Adios.